This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so once again, very good morning, guys. I hope you have revised your core strength. Whatever we discussed up to last class, you have revised that concept. So Sudha, you had one doubt how we can inject the list or collection that we'll discuss. So today let us start with a fresh concept. Whatever doubt you had, we'll go through. I have to remember, so we'll discuss that once I'm done with this concept. Yeah, don't worry. So guys, study. In last class, we have completed your Spring core. So you can say first module has been completed successfully. First module of your Spring is completed successfully. So this core module is nothing but it is the ABC of Spring. In the sense you can say basics, it is just a basic concept that we are going to use whenever we will develop any project. Yeah, this is just basic. In case of your Java, you will remember something as your pre-Java, how compilation execution, what is variable, what is data type, and so on. So similarly, your Spring code is your basic concepts we have covered. So from here onwards, whatever we are, even Spring code is very important, guys. But whatever we will discuss from here onwards, by using that, you can design any project. By using Spring, you can design any project, whatever we are going to discuss from here onwards. So just we have completed Spring course successfully. So just we have learned the basics, how what is Spring, what it is going to support, how object will be created, how we can configure it, what is auto wiring, what is IOC container, what is injection, what is dependency injection, next what is IOC container, what is inversion of control. These things we discussed. So this is all about your basic, or you can say Spring core we have discussed. From here onwards we will start with the advanced concept. So that first module we will start, that is your Spring JDBC. So today we'll start with Spring JDBC. So guys, still if you have any doubt, we'll keep one class or session for your doubts. Don't worry. Don't take tension at all. Just mark whatever doubts you have. We'll discuss that. We'll solve. We'll fix it up. Fine. So today we'll start a fresh concept, that is your Spring JDBC. That is your Spring JDBC. So I hope guys you remember what is JDBC. Yes, all of you, I hope you remember what is JDBC. You didn't forget JDBC at least. All the steps, basic. Basically, you didn't forget all the steps, right? Okay, then we can proceed. Because for this Spring JDBC, we need all the steps. Yes, if you remember, very good, Grace. So now we will start with the new concept, that is fresh concept, that is our JDBC Spring, or let's say Spring JDBC, which is your second module in Springs now. Spring JDBC. So guys, now you will say, sir, why we will go for Spring JDBC? Already we had normal JDBC API. Already, sir, we had normal JDBC API. Then what is the use? Yes, then what is the use to make use of Spring JDBC? Yes, already, sir, we had JDBC API, so we used to perform all the operations successfully. Like we used to perform all the CRUD operations. We used to like interact with database. We can connect with database, and we can perform all the operations. Then, sir, what is the need of Spring JDBC? So, guys, coming about Spring JDBC, whenever we'll go with Spring JDBC, we have to write less code. First thing, we have to write less code. So coming about JDBC API, your old JDBC, whatever we have learned, we should not say old. Actually, you can say your JDBC API. Yes, you can say JDBC API instead of Spring JDBC. So whatever JDBC API we have learned, so if you want to interact with if you want to interact with five database, so that's 7 steps. you have to repeat 5 times. That 7 step you have to repeat 5 times. So totally you have to repeat the steps 35 times. 35 times, guys. So first thing, whenever you have to interact with, let's say I want to interact with 5 different database at a time. So I need to proceed with that 7 steps 5 times. I need to create separate class and I need to proceed. So trust me guys, if you are going to make use of this JDBC API, we will be tired. Yes, because there we have to, each and every time we have to follow all the steps. And if we are going to change the database, if we are going to handle multiple database at a time, then we have to follow the steps multiple times. So first thing guys, in case of JDBC API, yes, we can interact. But if you want to interact with multiple database, you have to write multiple, like you have to follow the steps multiple times. So first thing. Next, in case of JDBC API, first we have to load the driver class. Next, we have to establish the connection. Next, we have to create statement or platform. Next, we have to execute the SQL query. Next, we have to process the resultant data. And at last, we have to close all the costly resource. So whenever you will go with your old JDBC API, minimum we have to follow these 7 steps. Minimum we have to follow these 7 steps, and each time we have to create the object of connection interface. Each time we have to create the object of, yeah, implementation object of statement interface, and so on. So what will happen guys, in case of JDBC API, the length of code will be increased. Like we have to write, each time we have to follow the complete step if you want to perform database operation. So instead of that, guys, what we can do, we can go for Spring JDBC. We can go with for Spring JDBC. So guys, coming about Spring JDBC, in case of Spring JDBC, we are not going to write any steps. We will not follow any step here. So basically, we will make use of one class. We will make use of one template, you can say. We can make use of one template. Just we have to make use of that template. We have to call the template. Automatically, all the 7 steps will be executed. Automatically, all the 7 steps will be executed. Just we have to make use of one template. So the name of template is JDBC template. So the name of template is this J capital DBC small and then template. Yes, so in case of Spring JDBC, no need to follow the steps, just we have to make use of this particular template. We have to access the functionality and we can interact with database directly. So how it will happen internally, what is going to happen, we'll discuss each and everything guys. But first you should know why not your old JDBC API. So in case of old JDBC API, as I said, length of code will be reduced. Sorry, length of code we have to write more. Yes, each time we have to create the object of connection statement and so on. So your code will become lengthy. So instead of that, if we are going to design any application instead of JDBC API, you can go for Spring JDBC. So here no need to follow all the steps, just you have to make use of the template. Now you will ask, sir, whether this JDBC API and JDBC and Spring JDBC is different. Not at all, guys. So both JDBC is same. Even this Spring JDBC, even this Spring JDBC is implemented, or you can say this Spring JDBC is going to make use of your old JDBC API itself. Yes, your Spring JDBC, it will make use of JDBC API itself. But here we have to, each and every steps will be stored in a class, or you can say it will be stored in a package. Not package, basically you can say class or template. So each and every steps, guys, will be stored in a template or class. Just we have to call that template, just we have to utilize that template, and all the steps will be executed one by one. So obviously just we have to call the template, all the steps will be executed. So no need to worry how we can create a connection interface implementation object, how we can create statement interface implementation object, and so on. So everything will be taken care by your Spring JDBC. Everything, guys, will be taken care by your Spring JDBC. So in case of your old JDBC API, you have to remember all the factory helper method and so on. So in case of Spring JDBC, guys, even no need to remember that. Even no need to remember that. So just you have to remember the implementation class and JDBC template, and we can proceed with the program. Yes, I hope you got some rough idea, not exactly, but you got some basic idea, guys. Why Spring JDBC? Why not your old JDBC API? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, guys, we have a small announcement. After that, we'll proceed. Yeah. Vignesh, sir, can you hear us? Then please proceed.
Candidates note down the company name called Broadridge. Broadridge, 65% throughout and above, 2020 pass out, BE BTech, BSc, BCA, MSc, MCA, any stream, Java plus SQL completed candidates. Interview today itself, the matching candidates. So share your mail ID or send your number, share your mail ID to my WhatsApp number. You should have 65% throughout and about 10th, 12th degree masters. Then only you will be eligible. Or else if you tried also, you will be rejected in the technical or any HR document verification room. If you are matching, you can register. So we have the test link. I will share you. Just share your email ID. After the class also, you can attend the test. By today, 3 p.m. test link will be expired. So matching candidates, register and share your mail ID. And the next requirement, Nagar Vision. Okay. NAGRAVISIO, Nagar Vision, 60% throughout, 1920, B BTech, MSc, MCA, ISCS, EC, Triple IT, 1920. Okay. Package 4.7 LPA. Skill Java JDBC completed candidates. Okay. For the both requirement matching means register within 12 p.m. Okay. That's it, sir.
Okay, done. Thank you. So, guys, if anyone is matching, please register as soon as possible. If you want 5-minute time, I'll give you time. Just call HR or like just message him and register. How many of you are matching, guys? Because interview is very important, you know that. How many of you are matching? Anyone? Then please contact HR. Yeah. So if you are matching, please contact your Vignesher and register as soon as possible. Fine, guys. So just now we discussed why Spring JDBC, why not your JDBC API. So same thing, guys, you can see in this documentation as well. In this notes, why Spring JDBC required? Why Spring JDBC required? So the problem of JDBC API are as follows. So first problem, in case of your JDBC API, we need to write a lot of code before and after executing the query, such as we have to create connection, we have to create the object of connection, we have to create the object of statement, we have to close all the costly resource and closing the result set. Like we have to close each and everything, we have to close the costly resource, we have to close the connection result set and so on. It is so first problem, guys, whenever we'll go with old JDBC API, we need to write a lot of code before and after execution. Before execution, in a sense, we have to establish the connection, we have to create a statement of platform, and once it is executed, we have to close all the costly resource. So it is a big problem in case of your old JDBC API. Next, in case of your old JDBC API, if you remember, we have to handle the exception each time. We have to handle the exception, guys. Now, let's say if you are going to follow the first step, you will get class not found exception. If you are going to follow the second step, you will get SQL exception. So in each and every step of JDBC API, you will, in the sense, compiler is going to throw an exception. But in case of, your Spring JDBC, all these exceptions will be handled by IOC container. All these checked exceptions will be handled by IOC container, guys. So first thing, why we need Spring JDBC? So first, here we know, like in case of your old JDBC, we have to write a lot of code. We have to handle the exception explicitly. Next, even we have to handle the transaction. Yes, if you remember, guys, even we have to handle the transaction. We have to set auto commit false. We have to make use of save point and so many things. But here it's like not required. It will be done by your IOC container itself. Next point. Now, whenever you are going to repeat the same code from one database to another database, obviously we need more time. Yeah, we need more time to code it, to write program. We need more time. So that's what repetition of all these code from one to another database logic is time consuming task. So these were the problems we faced in case of your old JDBC, or you can say your JDBC API. Now, in case of, as I said, in case of JDBC Spring, we will make use of one template. We'll make use of one template, that is JDBC template. Now, basically, it is a class and contains everything. Even we'll discuss what is JDBC template in depth, no need to worry. So now, just now we have to discuss what is the advantage of Spring JDBC template. So guys, in case of Spring JDBC template, it will eliminate all the above drawbacks of your JDBC API. In here, no need to create statement, no need to establish the connection, no need to close the costly resource. It will be handled by your JDBC template and IOC container itself. Now, in case of JDBC template, just we have to provide and just we have to write the method to execute the query, which is going to save lot of time, which is going to save our time. Okay, this is something as a brief idea, brief introduction about your Spring JDBC. Why not old JDBC API? Why your Spring JDBC? So guys, all of you take down next subheading as JDBC Spring module and please copy down these points, whatever you can see on the screen. Once you will copy, once you'll go through by yourself, then only you become perfect, guys. So Spring, at least you have to study twice. If you want to become perfect, at least twice you have to study. Yes. So guys, all of you take a subheading and copy down the points. Once you are done, ping me in chat box. Yeah, please make it fast, guys. Guys, done? Okay. So guys, now after this, take down subheading as JDBC template class. Take down next subheading as JDBC template class. So just now we discussed this JDBC template is nothing but basically it is a class. Yes, it is nothing but it is a class, or you can say it is a central class in the Spring JDBC. Yes, or you can say it is a central class in the Spring JDBC. Now it is going to take care of all the creation and release of resources. It is going to take care of all the creation and release of the resources, such as such as creating and closing the costly resource. So in case of JDBC Spring JDBC, no need to create the object, no need to close it. So it will be done by your JDBC template itself. So if we will forget to close the costly resource, nothing will happen, guys. Nothing will happen. It will be handled by your JDBC template itself. So first point, what is JDBC template class? In the sense, it is a central class in JDBC, in a Spring JDBC. Now it will take care of creation and release of resource, such as creating and closing the costly resource. And since it will be done, you can say, automatically by JDBC template class, so no need to worry about closing the costly resource, closing the connection, creating the object, and so on. So it will be done by JDBC template class itself automatically, and even it will handle the exception. Yes, it will handle the exception and it will provide the information regarding the exception to your this particular package, to your particular data access object class. So here exception will be handled automatically, object will be created, then costly resource will be closed. So no need to worry, these things will be happen automatically. Now, by using this JDBC template, we can perform all the database operation. In the sense, we can perform your CRUD operation, that is creation, then update, retrieval of data, and delete. So by using this single JDBC template class, it contains some method. No doubt at all, guys. This, since it is a class, it contains some method. It contains some static method. So with the help of that method, we can perform all the CRUD operations. So first point, what is JDBC template? So it is nothing but it is a central class of JDBC. It is central class of Spring JDBC, and it will take care of each and everything automatically. That is creation of object, like for the statement interface, for the connection, and even it will close all the costly resource automatically. Even guys, JDBC template, it is going to handle all the exception automatically, and just it will inform to DAO class. Just it will inform to data access object class. Now with the help of JDBC template, since it is a class, so it contains some built-in function or built-in method. With the help of that, we can perform all the CRUD operations. So in case of JDBC, if you remember JDBC API, we have something as execute method, execute update method, batch update, and yeah, these things. So these all function is present in JDBC template class itself. So being a programmer, just we have to make use of this JDBC template class, and we have to perform our all operation. Internally, everything will be handled by your JDBC template itself. So since even this Spring JDBC is going to, so backbone of Spring JDBC will be nothing but abstraction itself. How these things is happening, we don't know. But whatever task we are going to assign for JDBC template, it will be done internally, and it will follow again your abstraction principle, guys. So that's all. So all of you take down subheading as JDBC template class, and please copy down these points so that we can move, like we can go for the program guys now. We can move to program now. So guys, all of you just take down these points. After that, I'm not going to give any more point in case of JDBC template, but you should know these things. Just we'll see one diagram hierarchy and then we'll proceed with the program. Yes, all of you guys, please copy down first. Once you're done, let me know in chat box. Ping me in chat box. So guys, if you have any doubt, please ask. Don't keep any doubt. Don't carry forward. If you have any doubt, ask me, unmute, or just ping me in chat box. Anything is fine. So guys, done.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. So guys, now with the help of JDBC template, with the help of JDBC template, we need to perform all the database operation. That is, we have to connect with database and then we have to perform database operations. Yes, with the help of JDBC template, we have to do what guys? We have to connect with database, and then we have to perform all these operations. So coming about this JDBC, coming about the Spring JDBC, guys, we know it is nothing, JDBC template. Yeah, coming about this JDBC template, it is nothing but class. This is nothing but JDBC template, guys. It is nothing but class. Yeah, basically it is a class. Now what this class contain, in the sense, it contains all the methods. It contains all the methods. With the help of that, we can perform the operation. So we can say, guys, basically it contains method. This class, you can copy down the things later, don't worry, just see here. This class contains all the methods, or all the built-in methods. Built-in method. Yeah, basically this class contains all the built-in method or methods, guys, which helps user to perform CAD operation. Which helps user to perform CAD operation. Yeah, which helps user to perform, guys, basically CAD operation. Now, but yes, this JDBC template contains some method, and with the help of that method, we can perform CAD operation. Yes, we can perform CAD operation. But even now, let's say you want to connect your Java application with Oracle. Let's say if you want to connect your Java application with MySQL. So what and all you need? You need URL, you need driver class name, you need username and password. So just this JDBC template, just this JDBC template, guys, it contains what? It contains all the built-in method or built-in function which helps user to perform all the CAD operation. But if you want to make use of JDBC template to perform this CAD operation, we need all the database information. Yes, we need all the database. Like, let's say if you want to connect with Oracle, we need the driver of Oracle. If you want to connect with MySQL, you need the driver class, fully qualified class name, URL, password, username. So basically it need what, guys? It requires the data source. It requires the data source. In the sense, you can say, okay, data source. So basically it needs the information of database. Yes, it needs the information of database. So guys, we can, so this information of database will be provided by a interface. This information of database, guys, will be provided by one interface. So the name of interface will be, yes. So guys, the information of database will be provided by one interface. Will be provided by one interface. So the name of interface is data source itself. So the name of interface is data source. Yes. So now this JDBC template, it needs, JDBC template is a class. Now it requires all the information related to database. So all the information related to database is present in a interface, that is data source. You can is present, or we have to, like, we have to assign, we have to pass. But if you want to pass the details of database, we need an interface, that is data source. So guys, again I'll repeat, JDBC template. JDBC template is nothing but it is a class which contains all the built-in methods of, with the help of that we can perform CAD operation. But we need, yeah, if you want to connect with respective database, we need the information of the database. So that information will be given by data source. That information, guys, will be given by data source. So coming about this data source is nothing but it is a interface. It is a interface. Yes, it is nothing but it is an interface. So since it is an interface, can we create object for interface, guys? Yes, since data source is the interface, again we cannot create an object. Yes, since it's the interface, we cannot create object. So in this case, what we have to do, we have to make use of implementation class. We have to make use of implementation class of data source. So we have to make use of, guys, implementation class of data source. So let us, so obviously this is interface. So we have to make use of implements, no doubt at all. And for this data source, guys, we have a implementation class by name driver manager data source, driver manager data. Okay, let me just a second. Yeah, let it be, no problem. Just to explain, I'm using this. You can copy down from the notes itself. Driver manager data source. Driver manager data source. So guys, what is driver manager data source? In the sense, it is the implementation class of data source. Now, since it's an implementation class, then obviously data source will be interface. Now, this JDBC template need the details of the database, which we can pass in the data source. But since this data source is a interface, we cannot create object and pass. So what we can do, we can create the object of implementation class. We can create the object of implementation class. So the data source is having one implementation class by name driver manager data source. So data source contains one implementation class by name driver manager data source. So since it is a class, we can create the object. Yes, since it is a class, we can create the object, and here we will pass all the details of database. Here we'll pass all the details of database. So what will be the details, guys? So the details of database will be nothing but, you can say, it can be your driver class name. So basically we have to pass four major details, that is driver class name, URL, username and password. So first we have to pass driver class name. Next we have to pass, if you have any confusion, guys, don't worry, just listen now. Once we'll go for practical session, you will get a clear picture. Don't worry, just listen now. Driver class name. Next we have to pass URL. We have to give the URL of respective database. Next we have to pass here username. Next we have to pass what, guys? Next we have to pass here password. We have to pass here password. So basically what we will do, guys, we will create the object of this driver manager. Yes, we will create the object of this driver manager. Then we will inject this object, or let's say we will store or we will inject, and both the same, guys. Yeah, we'll create the object of driver manager. We will pass these many property, and then we will inject this detail, or we will inject the property of data source into this interface. Yeah, we'll inject the property in data source interface, and finally we will inject it into JDBC template. So here we have to create, basically you can say, two beans. Here we have to create a bean for driver manager data source. We have to create a bean for JDBC template, and then we have to inject. How it will happen, guys, no need to worry. Once we'll go for practical session, we'll get to know. Don't take tension at all. Just remember what is JDBC template. So it is a class. Now it needs, yeah, it needs some database information to connect with. So we need an interface data source. Now since data source is an interface, we cannot create object. We'll make use of implementation class driver manager data source. We'll create the object and we'll pass all the property one by one. Is it clear, guys? Roughly you got the idea what is going to happen internally?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so once we'll see the things practically, guys, you will get a clear picture. Don't take tension at all. So just take down these points again. After that, we'll go for program. We will implement the things practically. just a second. I'll just project the notes. Yeah. So take down surveying as data source and just copy it on the complete Ramayana Mahabharata, guys. Once you'll go for the program, you will get a clear picture. If you have, yeah, if you have doubt, guys, up to here, please ask. Otherwise, copy down. Guys, done. Okay. So guys, yeah, all of you have you copied? Everyone. Okay. So guys, are you comfortable? Whatever concept we have discussed up to here, all of you got right. Any doubt up to here? Any small confusion also? Why string JDBC? What is these things we have discussed? Template, data source, and so many things. Any doubt up to here? Any small confusion, guys? Yes. Any confusion? Okay.
No,
If there is
sir.
no yeah, if there is no confusion, we can proceed with the program now. So today's session will be very important, guys. Yeah, today's session will be very important. VPIQ for your future, or let's say whenever you will design an application. Because obviously you will make use of JDBC at any cost if you are going to use Java then. Fine, guys. So let us open Eclipse and start writing the code. We'll see the things practically now. So already we had test. So I'll rename this name. I'll rename this project basically. Let us try to rename this project. Let's say what's happening, and we'll go with new project. So let us rename, and I'll go to refractor and rename. So I'll give this project to Spring Core. This is already done. So just simply I'll give a name, guys, so that we can remember it. Or if you want the code, I can share in the file format. So yeah, so Spring Core is done. Now we'll create again one more Maven project. Again, we'll create one more Maven project, and there we'll do the coding for your Spring JDBC. You can do in same project as well, not required, but I want to keep the things like separate. So I'll go to other, and I'll go to Maven. So guys, all of you do it parallelly, and whatever dependency we have to add, even we have to do it now itself. Click on next. I know you know all the Ramayana Mahabharata. So this time also we have to select quick start, because we are not designing any web project. Once we'll go for web project, we will select here web apps, or we will get web apps. Yeah. Once we'll go for web project, we will select web app. But since we are using, like, we are writing normal programs, we are not using web application, so we will go with quick start 1.4 version. You can select 1.1 as well if you have. Then I'll click on next. Then you have to give all the things. Okay, by automatically I got Spring JDBC module. Luckily, see, yeah. So fine. So let us give group ID Spring JDBC module itself. I don't know how compiler get to know we are going to code in Spring JDBC module. I don't exactly. Yeah, fine. Then let us give a name artifact ID. Let's say I'm going to give new project. I'll give here new project. And if you want, you can change your package name. So let's say com.jsp. Yeah, com.jsp. And let's say we can give any package name. Let's say CUD, CUD operation. Since we will connect with database, we'll perform CUD operations, guys. So I'm going to give com.jsp.CUD operation dot. Okay, let's say Spring JDBC CUD operation. Spring JDBC dot CUD operation. You can give whatever you want based on your choice requirement. That is your choice. So basically this group ID will be your project name. As you know, this artifact ID is nothing but your package name, or you can say module name. This is your complete package name. Then I'll click on finish, and let us wait for a few seconds. One Maven project will be created. Okay, so we got here new project only. Yeah, obviously we will get project name here. Okay, so we'll just rename it so that we should not get confusion at all. Like, so right click and go to refractor and select rename. So let's say JDBC, Spring JDBC, Spring JDBC, and I'll click on OK. Now you can see we got a project here, Spring JDBC. Now guys, again we have to add the dependency. Again we have to add few dependency. So again we'll go to Maven repository, and I'll tell you what are dependencies we have to add. So guys, all of you can search here Maven repository in Google. Yes, all of you, first of all, you create a project. Do the things one by one parallelly. Yeah, all of you create a project, then open your pom.xml. And now we have to add the dependencies. So again, we'll go to Maven and we'll say, hey Maven, give me this repository, give me this dependency, give me that dependency. So first we want what, guys? First, I don't want Hibernate, I want first Spring Core. Spring Core dependency is obviously required because that is the basic of your complete Spring. So I need a Spring Core dependency. So you can select any version, but in my case, I'll go with, yeah, I'll go with which version, guys? 5.2.3. I'll go with 5.2.3. If you want, even you select 5.2.3. And then now suppose if you want the physical jar file, yeah, if you want the physical jar file of the Spring Core, then you can see here, guys, you will get the option jar 1.4 MB. So even you can add the jar file if required, if you need them. Yes, just click here and you can see the jar file has been downloaded. But I'm not interested to add jar file explicitly because since we are using Maven. So I'll just copy this thing and I'll paste in my form.xml. So first we will paste this Spring Core. Next, similarly, we need Spring context. We need a Spring context. So now let us again, I want the same version 5.2.3. I'll go with same version, guys, 5.2.3. All of you guys do it parallelly. Don't think I'll do it later. You have to practice the things now itself. So I have tested Spring context. Next, since we are using, guys, now we are using Spring JDBC. So even we want the dependency of Spring JDBC. So I'll write Spring JDBC. I'll write Spring JDBC and I'll search it off. Again, you will get Spring JDBC. So again, I'll go with same version, guys, 5.2.3, 5.2.3, and copy all the dependencies and paste in pom.xml. Pom.xml. Yes. So we have copy pasted Spring Core, Spring context, and Spring JDBC. Next, even here, since we are going to connect with database, so what we need the jar file of MySQL. Yes, we need the jar file of MySQL database. So I'll say MySQL connector. MySQL connector. I'll click on search. And then open the first link. So you can use any version, but currently I'm using my like SQL database as 5 point something. So I'm going to add dependency 5.x something. So you can go with 5.1.28. Anything is fine. If you are using MySQL database 8, then you have to download, like you have to add the dependency of 8. But since I'm using 5.0, so I'll go with any of them. So 5.1.26 or 5.1.0, anything is fine. So let me scroll down. If you are using MySQL database 8, guys, you have to add this dependency. So let me scroll down. I'll go with 5.0 something. Yeah, 5.0.5. Let's say 5.0.5. And then I'll copy the entire dependency here and I'll paste in pom.xml. So guys, all of you complete these things. You need to add these many dependencies. Yeah, so all of you complete fast. Once you are done, let me know, guys. Done, everyone? Fine, cool then. Now we'll open our SQL Yog, and there we have to create a database. So open all of us, yeah, even all of you, open your SQL Yog and create a database so that we can store the values or data, something. So let's say I'll create a database name. I'll create a database by name. Let's say JDBC Spring or Spring JDBC. Anything is fine. So right click JDBC Spring, and then I'll click on create. And basically I'll create a table as well, guys, because since we are not learning Hibernate here, table won't be created automatically, guys. In case of Hibernate, table will be created automatically. But since we are learning JDBC, we have to create the table explicitly. So I'll create a table here. So let's say I want student table itself. So I'll keep USN, then let's say data type is varchar, and let's say the length is 15, and I'm going to set as the primary key. Similarly, let's say we have something as name, and let's say here name is nothing but let's say name is again varchar type, and length I'll give as 20 or 25 so that we can store any big name as well. So let's say marks, or let's say USN name and CT. Yes, USN name and CT. So we are bored with marks attribute. Yeah. So let's say the CT name I'm going to give as a 30. You can give whatever you want based on your requirement. I'll click on create table and give the table name as student and click on OK. So table created successfully. OK. No. So inside JDBC string, you can see we have created a table student, and it contains 3 attributes: USN, name, and CT. So all of you guys create a database, create a table fast. We'll go parallelly. Yes. Yes, do it fast. Once you're done, let me know, guys. Please practice the things. Don't skip the things. Don't skip a single step in JDBC. Spring JDBC. I'm giving you sufficient time. So please execute the things, practice the things parallelly. And after class, practice the things once again, so that you will be perfect. Yeah, do it fast. Once you're done, guys, ping me in chat box. Okay, I hope all of you have completed. So fine, let us open our Eclipse once again. So we have added all the dependency. So now let us close this form.xml. Now let us create a class. Yes, let us create a class, guys. So let's say already we have app.java by default. So I'm going to consider this as a main class. Okay, I'll create a class and I'll give a class name as your student itself. Okay, we have to type a class, right? And I'll click on next. I'll give a class name as student. So guys, don't feel bored and all. Practice the things. Have interest to learn Springs. Seriously, it's very interesting thing. Don't feel bored and all. If you're feeling bored, have tea, coffee meanwhile and practice the things. I'll click on finish. Next. Okay, so Even we need a configuration file. Yes, we need a configuration file. So right click, new, other, and type here XML. So let's say XML file, click on next. Now give an XML file, whatever you want. So let's say I'll give here jdbc config.xml, and then click on next, finish. So here guys, we have created three class, one student class, one configuration class, and one your main class. Now we need schema here. Yes, we need the schema. So I'll go to your old project Spring code and I'll get the schema from your project as well. Self guys. So let's say I'll go with which. Okay, so let's say I'll go with I'll open any of them guys. Okay, I'll open this and I'll copy the complete schema. I'll copy this complete schema guys. Even you need to do it. Actually, util is not required. Fine. So I'll open. If you want, you can use that itself. Okay, fine. That's okay. I'll copy this only. So I'll copy the complete schema, but util is not required. I'll paste in this JDBC configuration. So I'll delete the first line. I'll paste it. Yes. Hold on. We are getting an error. Okay. Let's see why.
Means we have to close, sir.
Okay. Yes. We have to close the bin there. Yeah. Bins. Yeah. Thanks. We have to close the bin stack. Okay, closed. So no error. Okay, no error now. So yes, we have created three things here. So now we'll close your old XML file and we'll start coding now. So first guys, what we need? Yeah, first we need the properties of student. So let's say first property I'm going to assign as private string USN. Next, private string name. Next, private string city. Yeah, you know guys, basic JDBC, how to map these things and also no need, should not explain that, that's not required. I want just getters and setters, select all and generate getters and setters. Even if you want, you can generate constructor as well. Okay, let me declare constructor also, because in future if we need, then better to declare now itself, so that in future no need to come back to student class, Pojo class and do these formalities. Then to a string method. Yeah, these are the basic things we have to do. And our main class is ready, so I'll give here application execution started. Application execution started, and at last I'll give application execution ended. That's all. And in between we are going to perform, we will write our code. Yeah, so let us go for the configuration guys. This is important now. Yeah. So guys, as we discussed in case of Spring JDBC, no need to follow all the steps. No need to follow guys all the steps. So basically each and everything will be present in your JDBC template. Yes, each and everything guys, it will be present in your JDBC template. That's what we have discussed up to here, the complete Ramayana Mahabharata. Yes, we have discussed each and everything guys will be present in your JDBC template. So what we have to do, since this JDBC template is nothing but it is a class. Correct. So we will create a object of JDBC template. We'll create the object of JDBC template. So we will say bean class equals to double quotes. Yes, bean class equals to double quotes. Now for this class we need some bean name as well. Yes, so we will pass here name equals to double quote. Yes, and we will give the bean name as JDBC template. We'll give a bean name as JDBC template. But if you remember guys, here bean class, here we have to pass the fully qualified class name. Yes. Here we have to pass the fully qualified class name. So hold on, we can't remember the fully qualified class name. So from where we should get? So don't worry, we can do one thing. Yes, we can do one thing. So go to your main class and type here JDBC template. Go to main class and type here JDBC. Since it is a class, so it should start with capital J. Hold on guys, just a second. We need to wait. Yeah. So JDBC template. Control space. We are not getting. Okay. So whether this dependency has not been added, what problem is there? Once dependency is added, we should get it. No doubt at all. So yeah, dependency has been added. Still, we are not getting. Okay, we are not getting guys. Still, we should get. Obviously, we should get. So not a big deal. What we will do? Okay, let me try once again. JDBC template. No, we are not getting. So we'll do one thing. We'll go to Maven once again. And here we'll type JDBC. Okay, let's string JDBC. String JDBC. And we will download the jar file. See, you no need to do these things, but we can't remember the class name, fully qualified class name, correct? So we have to just copy and paste. So if you want, you can go to Google. From there, you can do it. But it's very pathetic, guys. If you'll go with Google, like we need to search each and everything. So instead of that, what we can do, we will download a jar file and then let's see what's happening. So 5.2.3. So this time I'll not add the path. I'll just download the jar file. Spring JDBC jar file version is 5.2.3. Remember. So let me download this jar file. So I'll click on keep. I'll click on keep. Okay. Once it is done, I'll open the source wherever I have downloaded it. So I have downloaded multiple times. I hope so. I'm getting multiple option. So okay, you can see multiple we have. So let us copy this jar file and let us go back to your Eclipse and we'll paste this jar file in your project. Yeah, so you can see we got a jar file. I don't know why we are getting, but it should work, guys. In your case, might be it will work. So just try in main class JDBC template and let's see you are able to import or not. JDBC template. All of you try to import. Yeah, you people try, but in my case it's not working, so I'll do something. So right click, I'll add this jar file, Java build path. I'll go with external jar app only. Okay, no, we have pasted, right? So we can go with add jars. This thing, we'll add this, apply. Okay, let us try now. Let us try. So I'll refresh this once and I'll type here JDBC. Yeah, this time you can see we got. So there was some problem while fetching the dependencies, guys. Might be in your case you will not get. If you are getting, guys, same thing you have to do, download the jar file from Maven and add in your project. So this time you can see we are getting. If I type JDBC, template, then I'm getting the class name. Yes. Or guys, you can do one more thing. You can hit Control Shift T, and here you can type JDBC template. And from here also, if you want, you can copy. But in my case, even it's not happening. So better what I did, I have downloaded the jar file. Both of the either of the things are not happening, so I have downloaded and added the jar file. Fine, let us forget these things. Now, in this bean class, guys, if you remember, in normal core, Spring Core, we used to pass the fully qualified class name, correct? So for this JDBC template, you can see this is the fully qualified class name. That is the reason we did these many drama. We have added the jar file just to get this fully qualified class name, guys, because we can't remember the things. Yeah. So the time, see the time you will type here JDBC template, you will get this fully qualified class name. So just you copy this, just guys, you copy this and paste in this bean class equals to, and yes, our work is done. Yes, our work is done. Now you can delete these things not required. These things are not required, so you can delete it off. Yeah, so all of you do it, guys. If you are not getting, then download the jar file and try to do it. Yeah, all of you do it. Create a bean, pass the fully qualified class name of JDBC template, and give a bean name as JDBC template. Do it fast. Yeah, guys, so if you have any doubt up to here, if you have any doubt, please ask me. Once you are done, if you are done, let me know in chat box. Don't waste your time, guys. If you are facing difficulty, please let me know. I'll help you out. Once you're done, let me know. Aishwarya, you are executing the things. Yes, Aishwarya, are you executing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good. Chetan, what about you? Chetan, are you executing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Shishma R, what about you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good. Okay. Yeah, so done, guys, all of you? Have you created a bean for JDBC template?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now, guys, for JDBC template, what property we have to set? What JDBC template want? What JDBC template wants now? Yeah. So can I say, guys, JDBC templates need data source. It needs, guys, data source. So just we have to set the property. We have to pass data source for this JDBC template. So again, we'll go back to Eclipse and we will make use of one tag, that is property. We'll pass property name equals to data source. Data source. So just this is a property name, guys. This is a property name. Now, but since what is data source, guys? Can anyone tell me what is data source?
Interface, sir.
Interface. So can we create the object?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So we have to create the object for implementation class. So here we have to create one more bean for driver manager data source. So let us just see what I'm going to do. So I need to inject the implementation class in this JDBC template. So I'll make use of, you can go with auto wiring as well, but here I'll go with, yeah, here I'll go with your normal program. I'll keep the things normal. So I'll say ref bean equals to double quotes, and I'll close this. So here, okay, I'm getting an error. I should not get, okay, within the property, right? These things we have to do within the property. Now, here we have to pass the data source, or basically here we have to pass this particular class bean name. Here we have to pass driver manager data source bean name. Yes, we have to pass here driver manager data source bean name. Basically, we are injecting data source driver manager data source object inside JDBC template. Now, even we need, guys, this data source driver manager data source object, or even we need driver manager data source bean. So we have to create the bean automatically. We will not get, again, just we'll go up and we'll make use of one more tag, that is bean class equals to, and we'll give a name for this bean as well. We'll say name equals to, you can give any name of your choice. So let's say I'll give a name as data source. I'll give a name as data source. So I need to inject this driver manager data source where in this template class. So I'll pass here ds. I hope you got this concept, guys, because this JDBC template need a object of data source, but since data source is nothing but it is an interface, we cannot create the object. So we have to create the object for driver manager implementation class, which is one of the implementation class of data source. So fine. Now here also we need what, guys? Here we need the fully qualified class name, complete package name of data source driver manager. So from where we should get, again we will do something. We will write here driver manager data source. Hit control space and you can see, again you need to copy this fully qualified class name. You can go to Google and you can say, Google Baba, give me this fully qualified class name. Instead of that, you can do like this. So again you will copy a complete package name and you will paste in this class equals to, and this I don't want this particular class, implementation class, so I'll just delete it. When I don't want this, I'll delete it. So yes, guys, all of you do it. Yes, create an object for driver manager data source, which is nothing but it is a implementation class of data source. All of you do it fast, guys. And then you have to inject in JDBC template using this this bean name. Yeah, all of you do it fast, guys. Complete up to here. Then we have to set the URL and all. Guys, done? Is it done, guys? Okay, if not done, take your own time, no problem. Okay, so guys, just now, whenever we have discussed this particular diagram, we have, yeah, here we said, we discussed that for this driver manager, we have to set some property, right? This driver manager need major four things, that is driver class name, URL, username, password. These major four things we have to pass. So for this driver manager data source, we have to pass these many things. Again, let us go back to your configuration.xml, and here we have to set all the property. Here we have to set all the properties. So first we will say property name equals to. So since we have to set four property, guys, so one by one we will make use of four property name. Yes. So first property, what is the first property? So first we have to load the driver class. Yes. In case of JDBC also, guys, we used to load the driver class. Same Ramayana Mahabharat we have to use here also, because internal thing will be your JDBC API itself. So first we have to set the driver class name. So I'll say driver class name. Driver class name. Next we have to set the URL, so URL. Next we have to set the username, so username. Next we have to set the password, so we will say password. Driver class name, URL, username, password. And we will make use of one value tag, or let's say value attribute. So we'll say value equals to, and in double quote we have to pass everything. Value equals to double quote, again value equals to double quote, again value equals to double quote. And we can close the property tag here itself. So just we will use self closing tag, because in further, like, we are not going to use, so just close it here itself. Now here we have to pass the driver class name, we have to pass the URL, we have to pass the username as well as password. Yeah, all of you guys complete up to here. We'll go step by step. So set these four property. Okay, so guys, can anyone tell me what is the driver class name of MySQL, since we are going to use MySQL? What is the driver class name? Can anyone tell me so that I can type? Because it's very good. Com dot no
JDBC,
MySQL
MySQL,
dot
JDBC,
JDBC dot driver.
driver manager.
No manager, only driver.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. What is the URL? Can you tell me? JDBC colon
My
MySQL colon,
localhost
yes.
3306,
Hmm. So
username root.
user, yeah, username we are going to pass for the next property. So if you want, if you remember, I said guys, like, you can pass your database name as well if you want. Otherwise, it's optional. Yeah. So database name is, what is my database name? So database name is JDBC Spring. That is optional. If we will not pass also, nothing will happen. JDBC Spring.
Sir, here we
So
have to pass also table name.
no, table name no need to pass. While writing the queries, we have to pass the table name. Yeah, while writing the query. Yes. So guys, if you remember in case of JDBC, I said this URL is having three different variants. It contains three different variants. So here we are using that third variant. In case of JDBC, we passed each and everything in a single line, username, password. But as we discussed, it contains three variants. So here we will use third variant. So my username is root, as we know, and password, even in my case, password is root itself. Done. Now this driver manager data source configuration is done. Done now, guys. Yes. Now, but now, guys, we have injected. If you can see, we have injected. We have created the object of data source driver manager data source, and we have injected in JDBC template class by using a bean name that is data source. Similarly, guys, now finally we have to create the object of the student as well. Even we have to create the object of student. So let us create the object of student, guys. So let's say again bean and class equals to, here we have to pass the fully qualified class name of student, and here we have to pass bean name as well. So name equals to this particular thing. Yes, even we have to create. So let's say student1, and I need fully qualified class name. So let us go up, right click, copy qualified class name and pass here. Copy qualified class name and pass here. Yes, so here even this particular student class is having some property, right? We have to set USN, we have to set name, we have to set CT. We have to set CT, guys. Yes, but hold on, guys. We have to do one more thing. We have to do, guys, one more thing here. So what we can do now, these property, the student bean will be injected where, guys? The student bean will be injected in JDBC template. Yes, so we have to say here property name equals to, what is the property name, guys? So the property name is JDBC template itself. Just a second, guys, just a second. Yeah, so here we have to, basically we have to, okay, just a second, guys, let us try this first. Let us try just a second, then I'll explain you. Then value equals to, let us pass this JDBC template. Just a second, guys, let me check whether it will work or not, or we have to go with some other way and go with application context. Con equals to new class path. Just hold a second, guys. Class path. Class path XML. I'm not, yeah, class path XML application context. And here we have to pass this XML thing, guys. Yeah, we have to pass this particular, these things we discussed already. Just I need to check with this particular configuration file. So let me check, then we'll proceed it off. That's done. Now we need a bean, so we'll say con dot get bean, and which class I want to inject. So I want to inject student dot class, and my bean name is, if you remember, for student class bean name is my student one. So I'll pass student one, and I need to assign a variable. So just hit control one. Okay, I'm not getting here. Control one. Okay, and you can see assign statement to a new local variable. So let's say as let us print and let's see whether my program is working or not, and then I'll explain the things configuration file. Oh, we got some error. Okay. Okay, no default constructor found. So we need to declare default constructor here, then only it will work. Just a second, guys. Wait for 1 minute. Still some error. Okay, setting the property invalid DS. Okay, that's what, small doubt. Okay, so basically where here we have to give reference. No. Okay. Okay, just a second. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, we will just complete the things whatever we have discussed. Just give me 1 second. Okay, guys, we were doing something foolish things. Yeah. So see here. All of you see here, guys. So now we have created. We know, guys, this particular JDBC template need a data source. So we have injected the data source. So this data source is nothing but it is a reference of. Yes, this data source is nothing but it is a reference of data source interface. So we have set the property name equals to data source. And since here we have passed what fully qualified class name, as we know that, and this is my JDBC. Yes, this is nothing but your template name, that is your bean name. Now for this JDBC template class, what we need for this JDBC template class, we need data source, right? But we cannot create the object of data source. We can pass the property here data source, but we cannot create the object for data source since data source is a interface, correct? So hence we are using here driver manager data source. So we have created the object of driver manager data source, and then after creating the object we have assigned one bean name. Now this particular data source implementation or this property is required for the JDBC template class. So we are injecting by using a tag that is ref bean equals to ts. So one object of driver manager data source will be created and it will be injected in JDBC template. And basically this data source is just a property name which is present in data source interface. Yes, let me try to get that documentation. I don't know why I'm not getting in my case data source. So java.sql. Yeah, I'm getting like this, guys. I should get fine. Let me change the Eclipse better. Yeah, so we are injecting driver manager data source inside JDBC template. But for driver manager data source, guys, as we discussed, we have to set some property, that is driver class name, URL, username, password. So one by one we have set all the property for this driver manager data source. Yes, next. Now even we have to create the object bean. Guys. So here what we have to do here, no need to inject anything, just we have to create the bean. So bean class equals to I need to pass the fully qualified class name. So let us go and pass the fully qualified class name. And let us pass the bean name here. So let's say name equals to student1. So that thing I need to pass in the main class here. This is the basic thing, guys. I'm not going to explain this thing. You know this. Yeah. And then we passed here your configuration class name. And even, guys, we have to set the property. Yes, for the student class we have multiple property, so we have to set the property as well. To set the property, I'll use p schema. So I'll say p name equals to, so first is USN, I hope. Yeah, first is USN. So p colon USN equals to, let's say the USN is honestly 13EC070. Let's say then it is name. So p name equals to, let's say some name is Avinash Kumar Singh. Avinash Kumar Singh. Let's say we have CT. So I'll say again p colon CT equals to, let's say is staying in Delhi. Yeah. So we have created the object bean and we have injected the property. Now let us execute and let's see whether this is working or not. This won't be like data won't be stored in database because still we have to perform few more things, but the property should be injected. Yes, you can see one object has been created and property has been injected. Now we need to store these data in database. Now guys, we have to store these data in database. So what we can do guys, we can so we'll make use of that method and we'll try to store the data. Just a second. Yes, guys, am I audible now? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Let us proceed now. So basically, we have to store the data, guys. Yes, we have to store the data. So let me delete these things. Yes, let me delete this data. So now, if you want to store the data in database, so we have discussed just now, we have to make use of a class that is JDBC template. We have to make use of a class JDBC template. Now this class contains, yes, now this class contains each and everything. This class contains some method. So we have to make use of a class that is JDBC template. So what we will do, we will say con dot. Now all of you look here, I'm not going to get the data of student. I'll get the bean of JDBC template. So con dot get beans, con dot get beans, and we'll pass here bean name, and here we'll pass the class name. So as we know, the class name is JDBC template dot class, and we will store in a variable again. Yes, we will store in a variable JDBC. Let's say the variable name is A, JDBC A. And here we have to pass the bean name of JDBC template. So what is the bean name, guys? You can see it's JDBC template itself. We will pass here. We will pass here. But again, hold on, we are getting an error. So not happening, it's not happening. Just a second. So there's some problem with Eclipse, guys. In my case, fix project setup. So I need to get it from yeah, let's say I want to get it from this particular because JDBC template guys is present in jar file. Yes, see previously I was not getting. Previously I was not getting because my jar file is, there's some problem with my jar file guys. It has not been added whatever. But in your case you will get it definitely. So what I'm telling application context to get me the bean of JDBC template. So that's what I'll say con dot get bean, and here we will pass your class name, that is JDBC template dot class, and here we have to pass the bean name, and that we are going to store in a variable a. Now guys, this a variable, now this JDBC template is having all the methods. So let's say a dot, and you can see guys, this JDBC contains all the method. This JDBC contains guys all the method. So if you want to perform your DML operation, so it contains a method update. Yes, if you want to perform your DML operation, you have to make use of a method that is update. So this update is applicable only for DML. That is, we can insert the record, we can update the record, we can delete the record. But hold on, here we have to write the query first. Here we have to write the query, because how Spring JDBC will get to know in which table you want to inject and what you want to inject. So we have to pass it here. So can I say here string query equals to, now I want to insert the data. Let's say I want to insert a data. So I'll say insert into what is the table name, database name guys, let us see, JDBC Springs dot student. So JDBC Spring dot student, and we know we have three attributes basically. Yes, they have basically three different things, so we'll pass it one by one. So let us proceed and do it. So I'll go with placeholder guys. Remember what is placeholder in case of your JDBC. Yeah, we'll pass a placeholder. And coming about this update method guys, in first argument we have to pass the query. In first argument we have to pass the query, and let's say if you want to pass three value, you have to pass here itself. Let's say if you want to pass user name, phone number, so even you have to pass it in update method itself. So coming about your update method, just a second. Coming about your update method guys, it will accept multiple arguments. You can pass any number of arguments. So basically in first argument in update method, you have to pass the query. In update method, first you have to pass the query. In second argument, you have to pass value 1, value 2, up to whatever value you have. You can pass like this. So what is the query name? So query is your query itself. Here you can see we have written as SQL query, and the query name is query itself. So now this student table contains three attributes. So we'll pass each and everything here itself. So let's say, comma, yes. Again, we are going to get the error, something fishy guys, seriously. So I want to get it from this particular jar file, apply, okay, let's see, still we are getting error. Configure build path. Okay, let us try to pass the value, then we'll see what's happening. So let's say the USN, I'm going to pass the USN here. So in configuration file, I'm not going to do this. Let us try guys here. 1 street 13 EC 070. Let's say we have to pass some name here. I'll say Avi, and let's say some city, that is Delhi itself. Okay, and why I'm getting error, I don't know. Let's see. Int b equals to, telling me to configure once again. In your case, guys, all of you try once. Yeah, in your case, try once. Yeah, there's some error, guys. Seriously, problem with my Eclipse. So we have to do like this. As we have to do like this itself. Yeah. So next, let us print. Let us print here this out, and I'll say B. Okay, or I'll say record inserted. Record inserted, and let's say we'll pass here B. Let's say we'll pass here B. Yeah, so guys, let us execute and see, then I'll explain once again neatly. You should get the clear picture. You might get an error. Yeah, obviously. So prepare statement, insert into JDBC that the nested com.mysql exception. You have an error. Okay. Okay, we have to pass values, right? Okay, so table, this table does not exist. Seriously, we don't have table. JDBC. Okay. Hey guys, so much mistake we are doing. JDBC. Spring.student. Yeah, same table, right? JDBC. Spring.student.
Sir, student spelling is wrong.
Okay, student spelling is wrong. Okay, STUDENT. Oh God. Once you will get mistake, now once you do mistake, you will keep on doing that. Fine, that's okay. Yeah, you can see guys, one record inserted. Fine. So you can see one record inserted. Now let us go to database and we'll see whether the record has been inserted or not. So just click on refresh. Yes, and you can see data has been inserted. So let us change and pass some other data. If I'll execute this, you will get an error, guys. No doubt you will get the error because of the foreign primary key concept. You can see duplicate entry for the primary key. So I'll change the USN to 125. 125. I'll give a name as Akhilesh Yadav. And let's say he is from Mumbai. Now let us execute this and let's see whether data has been inserted or not. Yes, data has been inserted. Yes. So guys, now all of you see here. Now all of you see. So first, what we did, we are using here JDBC template. We are using JDBC template. It is a class, no doubt at all. but this JDBC template need a property that is data source. This JDBC template need a property that is data source. Now this data source is present in an interface. This data source property is present in interface by name data source itself. So we cannot create the object and we can inject for data source. So we have to make use of one of the implementation class. Yes, so driver manager data source is one of the implementation class. Now this driver manager data source will accept these many property. So same thing we did here. You can see we are creating the object of data source. Sorry, driver manager data source and bean name is DS. That DS we are injecting in class by name JDBC template. Now, even for this driver manager data source, we have to set some property. So we are setting all this property one by one. We are setting, guys, all this property one by one. First, we have set a driver class name, next URL, next username, next password. So these things we have set it. So now, once the object of JDBC template is created, so the bean name is JDBC template itself. So we are going to create the object of JDBC template. I hope we remember what is JDBC template. It is a class which contains all the built-in methods. Yes, it is a class which contains all the built-in methods. With the help of that, we can perform the CERD operation. So let us come back to your app class. So first, application execution started. Now we know application context is nothing but it is a IOC container. So again, we can't create the object for interface. We are making use of implementation class and we are passing the configuration file name. Yes, that's done. Now we know, guys, IOC container will create the object of JDBC template. So we are asking JDBC template to get the object of, we are asking IOC container, sorry, we are asking IOC container to get me the object of JDBC template. So I'm telling con dot get bills. I'm telling con dot get bills. And after that, here we need to pass your bean name. That bean name we have declared in your configuration file. Yes. Now you can perform here upcasting, or in second argument you can pass the class name. So here I'm going to pass the class name as JDBC template dot class. So once I'll get the object, I'm storing in a variable JDBC A itself. Now we know, guys, now this JDBC, now we know this JDBC template is a class which contains all the built-in methods which helps user to perform the CERD operation. Yes, so if you want to insert, update, delete a record, so it contains a method by name update. So if you will write a dot, you will get all the set of methods. You will get execute, you will get batch update, you can, yeah, you will get all the set of methods. So currently I need to perform DML operation, so I'm using update. So that is the reason I have used a dot update. What is a? It is a reference of JDBC template, object reference. Now here we need to pass the query. Here we need to pass the query. So first we have to write the query. So here I need to insert a record. So I'll write insert into JDBC Spring dot student values. And coming about this update method, this method in first argument we can pass the query, and in second, third, fourth, up to n argument we can pass the respective value. We can pass the respective value. If you don't want to pass this value, you can pass the value here itself. If you are not going to use placeholder, then directly you can pass this particular value in values itself. But since I'm using placeholder, so first I'm creating the query and then I'm injecting all this value one by one. So this particular value will be injected to first placeholder, second to second, third to third. And as we know guys, whenever we are going to perform any DML operation, it is going to return some integer value. Yes or no? So it will return some integer value. That integer value is going to tell the number of rows affected in database. Number of rows affected in database. So currently I'm inserting one record, so I'll get the count value as 1. I'll get the value output as 1. So that I'm storing in variable b, and I'm saying record inserted plus b. Record inserted plus b. Yes. Now let us see whether this data has been stored or not. Akhilesh Yadav, yeah, you can see data has been stored. Similarly, you can change and you can store whatever data you want. Whatever data you want, you can change it. Yes, record inserted. One more record has been inserted. Yes, one more time Akhilesh, but USN is different. Now guys, let's say I want to delete a record. Now I don't want to insert a record, I want to delete a record. If you want to delete a record guys, nothing great, you have to make use of update method itself. So let's say by using this we are updating the record, not updating guys, sorry, inserting the record. Here we are inserting the record. Now I want to delete a record. So first what I need to do guys, I need to write a delete query. So I'll say select d query, dq, let's say dq equals to delete from. I want to delete all the records guys. So what I'll do, I'll write delete from this particular database name dot table name. I'll put semicolon. Yeah, I want to delete all the record. If you want to delete specific record, you can make use of where clause. Now let us try whether it will work or not. So we'll say again this update method is present in JDBC template. So we'll say a dot update and we will pass the query. So query name is dq. Query name is dq and then we'll store in a variable int b. Int b equals to, and here we will say record deleted. Record deleted. Now let us execute and see whether the data will be deleted or not, or still we will get an error. So now you can see guys, we have 3 records in this table. Let us execute this. We might get, yeah, you can see guys, we didn't get error. So if you will not use where clause, then all the record will be deleted guys. So in this table, how many record we had? 3 record. So we have deleted how many record? 3 records. So it is returning count value as 3. Now let us go back to database and refresh it off. You can see all the data has been stored. Sorry, all the data has been deleted. If you want to delete the specific record, you can pass here where clause and you can pass the value in update. Clear guys? Like this you can insert a record and you can delete a record. Clear guys? So just you have to make use of JDBC template. Yes, whenever you will deal with Spring guys, 100% you will get the error. So just have patience and you have to correct it. If you are scared of getting error, then Spring is not for you. Yes. Clear guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so all of you perform these CURD operations, that is delete, insert and update. Yeah, all of you perform guys. I hope configuration part is done by everyone. I hope it's done, guys. So bean thing we'll see later. This configuration part is done, right, everyone? So then complete this thing. Now perform update, delete, and insert one by one.